Self-climbing formwork. Right to the top with new ideas. Flexibility instead of rigidity, that's the motto here. The SCF concept from Hunnebeck is designed with an eye to maximum effectiveness in the practical everyday work environment. This means adapting to the specific building requirements by being able to interchange individual construction parts. How much practical experience lies hidden in the new SCF system is proved not least by the fact that it can be combined with all types of modern formwork, whether load-bearing or frame formwork, simply a formwork system to meet your needs. Inclined, curved, offset, this has presented a construction problem for you up to now. With SCF you can climb through any building shape in a jiffy. The SCF system can be adapted to inclines, positive or negative, up to 25 degrees and offsets up to 15 centimeters. The Viaduc des Vaux near Yverdon, Switzerland, crosses the valley on 4 approximately 97-meter high piers measuring 4 by 2.8 meters at the base. To solve the formwork problem, the connecting structure for the piers, standing in a group of 4, was conceived and put forward by Hunnebeck. In order to allow the highest level of flexibility and the shortest possible approach routes, in order to maximize the time allowed, the formwork for each of the 4 piers was interconnected using catwalks. Climbing was restricted to 4 brackets per pier. For each of the 4.1 meter high concreting lifts, self-climbing formwork was used only on the long sides. For both of the 2.8 meter wide gable ends, a new kind of wing formwork was used, which was fixed to the 2 climbing units. For stripping out the formwork and also to carry out construction of the connecting section, this formwork was simply opened out like a door. The necessary work and trailing platforms on the short sides of the piers were likewise connected to the SCF units, thus climbing along with the rest of the formwork automatically, without need for their own suspension points. The interior formwork, erected as a shaft construction, self-stripping on catch platform beams with trailing platforms, was shifted in one single lift in about 30 minutes. The work cycle was performed using a rotation principle, stripping, climbing and erection of formwork in the morning, concreting in the afternoon. The reinforcement was inserted in the previous lift of concrete. In this way, a maximum of 7 concreting lifts could be achieved in 5 working days. With only 2 men shuttering, stripping times of under 0.1 hours per square meter could be achieved. The new 68-meter high control tower for Leipzig Airport was constructed faster than had been predicted, thanks to the effective solutions proposed. A fundamental part of this concept was the deliberate use of a crane for the inner formwork, making the whole shuttering process far more flexible. The concept for the exterior formwork was based on SCF self-climbing formwork with 1 main work platform, 3 reinforcing levels, as well as 2 trailing platforms. The overall formwork concept allowed parallel work on the formwork and reinforcement at any given time, without there being any delay resulting from one operation impeding the other. In the case of the Ellipson in Dortmund, a 62-meter high office block with 16 floors, the self-climbing formwork system SCF from Hunnebeck allowed for simultaneous shuttering and reinforcement work at various levels. For this structure, a particularly cost-effective operational sequence was developed. The wall formwork of the building core consisted of the new SCF self-climbing formwork system. On each of the long sides of the building core exterior, 3 platforms, each with 2 brackets, were set up. The short sides of the building core were kept free of brackets, but at the work level and at the level of the trailing platforms, the space was bridged by aluminium catwalks. The self-climbing formwork system SCF is a futuristic new development, by which means any high-rise structure can be erected independent of cranes, even to heights exceeding 100 meters, with a drastic reduction in requirements for personnel and materials. This allows for substantial economies. In the case of this structure, the climbing was effected in individual steps. With a story height of 3.17 meters, 8 climbing steps were required. The 6 platforms needed for the exterior formwork could climb with the assistance of 2 hydraulic units. One complete climbing move, that's to say 1 complete floor, took roughly only 1 hour and could be carried out by 2 or 3 men without any problems. After this step, the steel fixing was carried out. The essence of the solution lay in the fact that reinforcement work and shuttering could be carried out simultaneously at any given time. Rational from lift to lift. Economic from operation to operation. Stripping, transfer, erection, a smooth sequence. No waiting times. Everything automated in such a way and so secure that there's no need to carry out a visual check. The ratio of the number of brackets to the area of formwork can be related exactly to the geometry of the structure. The result, shorter shuttering times, fewer personnel, greater efficiency. Not just the SCF system, but the whole formwork concept was tailored to the sequence of construction work to fit in exactly. The Norwegian bridge Bømlabrua, lying about 70 kilometers south of the city of Bergen, is a 990-meter-long suspension bridge. Shuttering for the 2 bridge piers, each towering 102 meters high over the surface of the sea, was a particularly challenging task. SCF self-climbing formwork was used. Quincy Park Tower in Chicago proved that greater utilization of equipment is possible if a comprehensive solution is adopted. The 38-story building was constructed as a monolithic structure in weekly steps. The SCF self-climbing system allowed for a 100% crane-independent operation, as well as offering other benefits. Moreover, shorter cycle times and minimal shuttering times were made possible thanks to the technology available. The SCF self-climbing formwork system from Hunnebeck, practical to the smallest detail. The SCF climbing hydraulic system makes the whole unit secure even under full load in each lift cycle. It stands out from the rest, not least because of its compact setup: climbing shoe, climbing head, climbing rail. The spring mechanism of the gravity catches offers additional security, enabling storing of all hydraulic components without risk of damage or distortion. Variable load connectors ensure the highest level of flexibility. SCF. Don't compromise on safety.